Have you ever wondered why some logos become instantly recognizable global icons, while others just feel completely outdated after a few months? Well, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're unpacking the deep intentionality hiding behind the world's most famous brands. Because here's the thing, it's not magic, and it's certainly not luck. It is purely about strategic design.
Take Nike, for instance. Why did they choose the font Futura Condensed Extra Black? I promise you, they didn't just pick a font out of a hat because some designer thought it looked cool. No way. That bold sans serif font strategically communicates absolute strength and stability, while the italicization visually leans into the future, mimicking human kinetic momentum and forward motion. The swoosh symbol, that's really only doing half the work. The typography does the rest, sending this incredibly powerful subconscious message straight to the consumer.
All right, so here is our agenda for today. We'll hit 1. Why strategic thinking matters. 2. Defining target audience analysis. 3. The essential research steps. 4. The psychology of design. And finally, 5. A case study on a brand called Iron Grip. Today, we are going to completely reverse engineer these iconic decisions and break down exactly how you can stop guessing and start designing with absolute precision. Let's jump right into Section 1, Why Strategic Thinking Matters, or as I like to call it, the antidote to amateur workflows. Okay, we've all seen the dreaded save the world charity panic design moment, right? That's when a designer gets a brief and just rushes straight to the digital canvas, assuming literally any visually appealing shape will do the job. On the left here, we see this amateur workflow in action, relying way too heavily on gimmicky effects, excess gradients, drop shadows, and what essentially ends up looking like 90s clip art. But on the right, the professional workflow relies on methodical research, target audience analysis, and a really strict problem-solving mindset. Mature designers let form and psychology do the heavy lifting, while amateurs, well, they try to hide a complete lack of strategic planning behind complex software filters. So, what does this actually mean? Strategic design thinking means approaching logo design with a problem-solving mindset and methodical research to align your visuals with the brand's identity and goals. This problem-solving mindset is your superpower. It's the core difference between guessing what looks good and knowing what works. It ensures your logo isn't just visually appealing today, but that it stays functional, memorable, and iconic for decades to come. Ultimately, it means putting down the mouse and picking up a notebook first. Moving on to Section 2, Defining Target Audience Analysis. Simply put, who exactly are we talking to? Listen. Before you even think about drawing a single line, you absolutely must know who the brand is speaking to. Target audience analysis is the process of identifying exactly who these consumers are, what they like, what they dislike, and what really makes them tick. This step dictates everything, from the geometric shape we choose all the way down to the typography. Because think about it, a design that ignores its audience is exactly like speaking the wrong language in a crowded room. Nobody is going to understand your message, no matter how loudly you shout. Look at Armani, for example. They analyze their high-end, luxury-focused buyers and realize, okay, this audience values luxury, elegance, and style. Because of that specific analysis, Armani strategically deploys a serif font. Why? Well, those little feet on serif fonts actually mimic traditional calligraphy and stone-carved lettering, which psychologically aligns perfectly with heritage, tradition, and elite prestige. It's such a simple concept, finding out who the audience is and tailoring the typeface to them, but it's incredibly easy to mess up if you just skip the research phase. All right, let's get practical with Section 3, the essential research steps, taking us from concept to visuals. Here is your strategic roadmap you can use every single time. Step 1, compile the corporate values and goals. This gives you the brand's true north. Step 2, create industry mood boards. This helps you see exactly what competitors are doing so you can figure out how to stand out in a really crowded market. Step 3, extract core brand keywords. You basically boil down pages of boring corporate documents into just a few punchy adjectives. And Step 4, combine those words into functional pairs. By studying the industry, extracting keywords, and making these word pairs, you transition your brain from passively making art to actively solving a strategic puzzle. That leads us right into Section 4, the psychology of design. Let's look at why shapes speak louder than words. There's this quote, graphic design is just visual communication. And man, I absolutely love this. It reminds us that every single angle, curve, and font weight you choose is actually sending a secret, silent message directly to the consumer. You are evoking incredibly powerful emotions without ever saying a single word out loud. Check this out. This table perfectly shows the cause and effect of shape psychology.
If your keywords are motion and progress, like Adidas, you use angled straight lines to evoke a dynamic sense of speed. If you want machinery strength and stability, think cat construction, you're going to use squares, rectangles, and triangles. Why? Subconsciously, squares represent bricks, foundations, and immovable permanent structures. On the flip side, if you want to communicate community, friendship, and love, you utilize circular or oval shapes. Our brains naturally associate those with safety, inclusion, and a total absence of sharp, dangerous edges. Every single shape has a distinct psychological job to do.
Okay, section 5. Let's tie all of this together with our case study on iron grip. This is strategy in action.
So let's apply everything we just talked about to a real-life case study. We had this brand new jujitsu client come to the table, and they didn't even have a company name yet. We started with the research. Compiling the corporate values for this new school led us to keywords like teaching, team, strong, and community. Analyzing the target audience showed they really desired skill building, community togetherness, and robust physical expression. So boom, this gave us a perfect psychological profile of an audience looking for both raw power and a welcoming community. By brainstorming and playing around with those original keywords, we eventually paired the words iron and grip. This was the massive aha moment for the project. It brilliantly solved the client's naming problem right from the start, and it instantly birthed our entire visual concept. Now we actually had a functional direction. Now watch how the strategy directly dictates the art here. Step 1, the word grip inspired a visual metallic hook-shaped fist. Step 2, the keyword strong meant we used straight, robust geometric edges to provide a foundation of stability. Step 3, to capture team, a circular element was integrated to bring in that subconscious feeling of safety and togetherness we talked about earlier. Noticed how absolutely none of this was random. Every single line, angle, and curve was entirely justified by the initial audience research. And check out the final typographic choice, a bold sans serif font. Just like our Nike example at the very start of the explainer, a traditional serif font was completely thrown out here. A serif font with those traditional little feet we saw with Armani would have been way too formal and prestigious for a sweaty, hard-working martial arts studio. Instead, a bold, hard-hitting sans serif was deliberately chosen to perfectly match that robust, athletic, modern vibe. So, I want to leave you with this. The next time you open up your software, ask yourself, does your design actually do the talking, or are you just making things look pretty using software effects? Are you skipping the research phase just to play around with drop shadows? Or are you a strategic problem solver ready to build an icon that stands the test of time? Stop guessing, start researching, and let the strategy dictate the art.